Hello, I'm here to talk about some stuff concerning hyperinflation that's coming, inflation that we have had and continue to have, and it will get worse once all this money or this currency that they've been duplicating or making illegally. I would being tried to stay like the quantitative easing or whatever else they want to call it, bank night lending, overnight lending. All that, the repo market, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. It's all making funds, money, currency out of thin air. And that brings down the value of our dollar and every dollar in everybody's pocket, bank account, wherever. So I just had a couple things. The first is just a little chart here. It shows you where inflation and where the dollar value was, and then over the years how much it's been inflated and how much it's become worth less and less and less. You can really see the big turn here when the dollar's taken off the gold standard from Nixon, and then from there it just shot up and it's continued. This is to 2015 from 1913, which is the introduction of the Federal Reserve, to 2015, and it's been a lot higher since. This is the most recent chart I found that has been gone through and proven that to be factual, up to date. So this is just a big figure to look at to say, hey, what's going on? Because up here, our dollar's worth a lot less than it was even in the 60s, 70s. That means that's how much purchasing power it has. That means how much we can buy with a dollar, how much we can buy with what we've earned. I know wages haven't gone up to this amount at all, but the cost of things and everything else around us has, and that doesn't equate. It makes no sense. There's winners, there's losers that they pick. The winners are those in the stock market, those in the banks, those that they say serve us, which in public office, the politicians, they all make out, they all get the first cut of whatever's created, and they use it to the actual value that it can buy, the purchasing power it can buy. But after that, once it gets in to Main Street, it gets moving around, then the value becomes less and less and less. So whatever you have, I have, people have, becomes have so much less purchasing power to it. So that's just a chart to look at. When I found this, I knew it was happening, but this just isn't black and white. It tells you how bad it is. And for an example, I just have a couple things to look to read to you. Like in 1970, bread was on average 24 cents a loaf, and then 2020, bread is $2.54 a loaf on average. Campbell's tomato soup can, 1970 was 10 cents. In 1990, it was 33 cents. In 2020, it's on average 70 cents. A gallon of milk in 1970 was $1.32. 1990, $2.15. 2020, $3.70. I'll list a few more of these. Oranges were 9 cents a pound in 1970, 74 cents a pound in 1990, and 2020 it's $1.09 a pound. Mid-sized car, just your average mid-sized car, was $3,500, $3,500 in 1970. 1990, $9,437 on average. And then 2020, $23,000 for a mid-sized car, excuse me. There's stuff as far as Clorox bleach. A jug of Clorox bleach was 38 cents in 1970, and then in 2020 it's $3.35. Um, I'm just pulling more things just for an example. Crest toothpaste, 1970 was 75 cents. By 2020, by this year, $4.90. Um, I guess gas fluctuates because that doesn't really live on the same standard as a lot of foods and that kind of stuff. But even gas, until recently when the bottom fell out of it, and now we're below $2. I think we're at $1.70 on average, $1.60. But just before this happened, gas was on average $3 a gallon in the year 2020. And then if you go back to 1970, it was 40 cents a gallon. Like I said, gas doesn't really go on the same scale because it fluctuates and it plays in the stock market. It's a commodity, so there's manipulation. I mean, that's just like other things that are controlled heavily or manipulated, excuse me. Gas is one of those, but that just shows you on average the price of how much stuff has gone up. It really hasn't gone up. That's just how much your purchasing power of your dollar has gone down. To no fault of your own, it's just from all this quantitative easing, endless printing, and the rich getting richer. By that, I don't just mean business owners or whatever. They may happen, but I do mean banks, bankers, politicians. Even as simple as a frozen TV dinner. I mean, 1970 was 39 cents, and by 1990 it was $1.29, and then 2020 this year it's averages $2.50 for a frozen TV dinner. And so, what my suggestion is for my family, and what we do is we try to buy assets and stuff that's going to hold value, because it's coming. I mean, inflation, you're never going to be able to stop it unless we get out of the system, which that's tough in itself. So in the meantime, if you hold cash, you're losing money every day you hold it, because more and more are being printed or created or quantitative eased, whatever they call it. So if you hold that, it loses value. So if you get into the things, assets, whether that's land, property, which that still is a little iffy. There's a lot of variables to that, but precious metals, gold, silver, which were used, and they're in the Constitution as the only thing to be used for money. But since that, it has been taken over, and the politicians have done what they wanted, basically, and to make themselves richer, and those that they know richer, and more power. That's the end game. So I just wanted to give a little insight into this thing of inflation. I will be back. I will explore hyperinflation. For example, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Argentina, that kind of stuff. And I'll continue to do these to try to make awareness and get people involved, whether it's just easily starting to buy some silver. Silver's the cheapest it's been. I've been doing that. I had recommended to family and friends, and it has been a great wealth preserver. So if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below, and I will put some links to a few things, that chart, one of them, a few things that might pertain to this video. Until next time, be vigilant, preserve your wealth, and be aware.